We continue Kusala Sankhara, wholesome volitional formation aggregates. There are 19 beautiful mental factors, beautiful Sankhara, Saddha, faith, Sati, mindfulness, and today we go to Hiri Uttapa. Hiri is the shame of wrongdoing. Uttapa is the fear of wrongdoing. We met the opposite of these two among the unwholesome mental factors, akusala sankhara. They are ahirika and anuttapa. We leave out the negative particles and we get hiri and uttapa. Hiri is shame for wrongdoing or disgust for wrongdoing. Uttapa is fear of wrongdoing. Shame has the characteristics of disgust at bodily and verbal misconduct, and fear of wrongdoing has the characteristics of dread in regard to such misconduct. Hiri and Uttapa, they both have the function of not doing evil, so they are manifested as shrinking away from evil deeds. You good people have Hiri and Uttapa. You understand not to do any evil, to do good. You do not do evil. You don't do agusala. You don't do agusala sankhara, unwholesome volitional formations. You shrink from agusala, unwholesome, and due to your inclination, you keep away from agusala, unwholesome. The proximate cause is respect for self and respect for other people, respectively. The proximate cause for hiri, shame, is respect for oneself. The proximate cause for uttapa, fear, is respect for other people. If I should want to do some evil, then I would say to myself, such a person as I should not do this. I come from a good family. My father practiced well. And I'm the student of my great teacher, Pariyati teacher and Pratipatti teacher, and I've been practicing for many years. So such a person as I should not do evil. Considering what is good for myself, I will refrain from evil. That is hiri. When uttapa arises, you think, if I do something wrong, people will blame me. I will lose face with that. So I'm afraid of being criticized by others. I refrain from doing evil because I fear criticism. That is respect for other people, not for myself. So respect for other people is the proximate cause of uttapa. These two states are called by the Buddha the guardians of the world because they protect our world from falling into widespread immorality. If there were no Hiri and Uttapa in our world, there would be, as it is said in the book, widespread immorality. So these two qualities, these two mental factors, Hiri and Uttapa, keep our society in good shape. Once our society gives up these two qualities, Hiri and Uttapa, and has no respect for other, for these two qualities, then the society becomes violent, immoral. So Buddha described these two, Hiri and Uttapa, as Lokapala. Loka means world and Pala means protection or guardians. So Lokapala means guardians of the world. Sometimes people are ashamed to do something good. That is not Hiri. Hiri is shame for doing evil. Shame to do good things is not Hiri. So we should not be ashamed when we do good. Another Kusala Sankara, wholesome, volitional formation aggregates is Aloba, non-greed. It is the opposite of Loba. Loba is attachment, Aloba is non-attachment. Non-greed has the characteristics of the mind's lack of desire for its object. Even though the object is presented to it, your mind has no interest in it. It has no desire to possess that object. It has no desire to be attached to that object. That is alobha. Or non-adherence to the object, like a drop of water on a lotus leaf. So it is a very good example. You put a drop of water on a lotus leaf and it immediately falls away. And when there is alobha, when there is non-greed, then your mind will not be attached to anybody. Your mind will not be attached to anything at all. It is like a drop of water on a lotus leaf. The functions of alobha is not to lay hold. Alobha is not taking hold of something, not clinging to something. It is alobha. And the manifestations of alobha is detachment. It should be understood that non-greed is not the mere absence of greed. That is very important. If it is absence of greed, it must be piñati. So alova does not mean the absence of lova, but something that is the opposite of lova. It is actually a positive virtue such as generosity or renunciation. It is not the mere absence of greed, but it is a positive mental state, a positive virtue. So our bodhisattva fulfill 10 paramis, dana parami, giving, sila parami, perfections of sila, morality, perfection of renunciation, nikama parami, pinya parami, perfections of wisdom, Viriya Parami, perfections of effort, Kanti Parami, perfections of patience, Sitya Parami, perfections of truth, and Dayadhana Parami, perfections of determination, and Metta Parami, perfections of loving kindness, and perfections of equanimity. So these 10 paramis must be fulfilled to the utmost by a bodhisattva. In order to bring to perfection the accumulation of the paramis, our bodhisattva needs a long time, not just one life, not just 100, not just 1,000, but 4 incalculables and 100,000 world cycles. So one world cycle lasts for innumerable years. So you can imagine how long it will take bodhisattva to fulfill, to perfection these paramis. When bodhisattva fulfill these paramis, he fulfill them to the utmost. There are 10 paramis, and each paramis is divided into 3 levels. Parami, Upaparami, and Paramata Parami. Parami, ordinary level. Upaparami, intermediate level. And Paramata Parami, ultimate level. So all these levels, bodhisattva must fulfill. For example, the first of these paramis, dana parami, giving. When a person gives what he possesses, his riches and his possession, and so on, there is the giving on ordinary level. But if he gives away his own limbs, like a finger, like the eye, like the ear, heart, kidney, etc., it is called the intermediate level. And if he gives his own life for the benefits of other people, then that level is called ultimate level. So a bodhisattva must be able to give up his life for the benefits of all beings. That is why to fulfill the 10 paramis of Bodhisattva is very, very difficult. We cannot even fulfill the first level. We cannot give up everything we possess to other people. When we give, we may give some, but not all we possess, because we have to look at our own survival. But bodhisattvas are not like this. It is said that when bodhisattva give, they give away like turning the water pot upside down, so no water remains in the pot. So it is alobha, non-adherence to the object, no attachment to these things, like a drop of water on a lotus leaf. So bodhisattva give way, like turning the water pot upside down, so no water remains in the pot. So bodhisattva fulfill these paramis in this way. That is why they became Buddhas. So another one is adosa. Here once again, it is not the absence of dosa, not the absence of hatred. It is the opposite of dosa. No hatred has the characteristics of lack of ferocity or non-opposing. When there is dosa, there is opposition to the object in the mind. So here, when there is adosa, there is no opposition. The function is to remove annoyance or to remove fever. What means fever? Fever means fever of mind. When there is dosa in the mind, it is said to be feverish. So adosa, when you have adosa, that adosa remove that fever. And the manifestations of adosa is agreeableness, non-hatred, comprise such positive virtues as loving kindness, gentleness, amity, friendliness, etc. Anything which is the opposite of dosa, opposite of anger, opposite of hatred is adosa. When non-hatred appears as the supplying quality of loving kindness, when you practice metta, loving kindness is actually adosa. But not every adosa is loving kindness. So loving kindness is narrower in scope than adosa. Only when you practice radiating Sukhita Hondu, Sabbe Satta Sukhita Hondu, may all beings be happy, is their loving kindness. And when you are reflecting the virtues of the Buddha, at those moments there is no loving kindness, but there is adosa. Only when you intentionally develop this desire for the well-being of all beings, like radiating Sapi Satta Awira Hondu Abjabija Hondu, may they be free from enmity and danger, may they be free from physical and mental suffering, etc. Then it is called loving kindness. So loving kindness in essence is adosa, but not all adosa is loving kindness. You have to specifically develop it for it to be called loving kindness. When it becomes loving kindness, it has the characteristics of promoting the welfare of living beings. That means the desire for the welfare of all beings. The function is to prefer their welfare. And the manifestations of loving adosa is the removal of ill will. When you practice loving kindness sincerely, you get rid of anger. And the proximate cause is seeing beings as lovable. Such loving kindness must be distinguished from selfish affection, its near enemy. When we practice loving kindness, we have to be careful of two enemies, the near enemy and the far enemy. The far enemy is not difficult to see and not difficult to overcome. And the far enemy is hate. It is the opposite. It is the direct enemy. And the near enemy is affection, love. So it is very difficult to distinguish loving kindness from love. A mother has love for her child. That love for her child is that love for her child. Is it raga or it is metta? Sometimes it may be raga. Sometimes it may be pure loving kindness. So at one time, one man said, I have a granddaughter and I'm sending loving kindness towards her. But what I thought was that what you are sending is not pure loving kindness. There was attachment. So attachment comes to us in the guise of loving kindness. That is why it is called the near enemy. It is more difficult to see than the far enemy, dosa. We can easily see that dosa is the enemy of metta. This selfish affection or attachment is not so easy to see. It is called the near enemy. When we practice loving kindness meditation, we must be careful that we do not get into the hands of it and hands of this near enemy. So loving kindness, or rather metta, is defined as that which is solvent, which adheres because its agreeableness. It can be likened to oil which people put in the engines. You will not drive your car if there is no engine oil in it, for fear that the car may be damaged. But seldom people remember to put the oil of loving kindness in their relationships with their family members and other people. No wonder there is so much friction, so much irritation, conflict in our human relationship. If only people could put just a small amount of metta in their relationships, a lot of unnecessary anger, hate, grudge, resentment, and other undesirable results could have been avoided. So loving kindness is a wholesome desire for the well-beings of all beings. It is a desire which is not associated with lust. If your loving kindness is sincere, it is not associated with craving or attachment, but a pure good intention for all beings to be healthy, happy, and peaceful. So we practice every evening. Mama Matapitu Acharya, may my parents, may my teachers, may my friends, may they be free from enmity and danger, may they be free from physical and mental suffering, etc. So when this metta is in your hearts, you feel peaceful, and then your vibration of peacefulness reach out to those people which you specify in the sentence you say when you practice loving kindness. In this way, if you send out your radiations of metta to these people, they will be pervaded by your metta, and this radiation will create a friendly and peaceful atmosphere among all beings so that harmony prevails in all your human relationship. So when we practice metta, we begin with ourselves. Awi roho mi, etc. We begin with wishing health, happiness, and peacefulness for ourselves. May I be free from enmity and danger. May I be free from physical and mental suffering, etc. We begin happiness for ourselves. But it is not to be interpreted as selfishness, because it is not out of selfishness that we wish health, etc. for ourselves, but to take ourselves as example so that We can radiate these radiation to other beings as just as I want to be healthy, happy and peaceful. So these people want to be happy and peaceful. So may those people be well, happy and peaceful. If we are not happy, if we are not peaceful ourselves, we will not be able to send radiations of loving kindness. We will not send thoughts of happiness and peacefulness to other beings. So to be able to send these radiation to other beings, first we generate these thoughts in our hearts before we radiate them to other beings. And the practice of metta can give us a lot of benefits as declared by the Buddha. So the metta practitioner can sleep comfortably. Metta gives you a sound sleep and uninterrupted slumber. You have a very sound sleep. Those people who are lacking in the practice of meditation are restless before falling asleep in their bed. So they may perhaps be snoring loudly. On the other hand, a person equipped with Metta Bhavana has a peaceful sleep with an undisturbed mind. When fallen asleep, he sleeps at peace and happily, just like a person who has immersed himself in a trance of samadhi, very quiet, very calm, even his sleep. So you can sleep comfortably if you practice metta, and then you can wake up comfortably. You happily rouse from sleep. When waking up from sleep, some have started up with a grumble. Some may have to swing and stretch their arms and legs, and may have to make other bodily movements or roll on before getting up from bed, because they have their sleep is not good. They have not enough sleep. But if you practice metta, you will not suffer such miserable condition. You rouse from sleep happily. You are as fresh as the blooming lotus flowers, because you have very good sleep at night. And some people, they practice Bodhanosati, recollections of the virtues of the Buddha. Mindfulness on noble attributes of the Buddha have the advantage of sound sleep and happiness when waking up from sleep. It should be noted that special emphasis has purposely been made on the peculiar characteristics of Metta Bhavana because of its qualities in obtaining such benefits. Another benefit is metta practitioner have no evil dreams. Evil or bad dreams will not present themselves in sleep. There are instances where an vision may appear in his sleep as if he has fallen down from a very high altitude, or has been ill-treated by other people, or has suffered from snake bite, etc., if they do not practice loving kindness. But if you practice metta, you will not have such frightful dreams, but we have pleasant and sweet dreams, as is you are practicing the Dhamma hall very, very calmly. You are flying in the sky, with jhana, or listening to the Dhamma talk very calmly. So that gives you delight. Another one is you are dear to human beings. People will adore you. People will have affection for you because of your accomplishment of the noble attributes. You will be spreading your loving kindness to other people, and you will never cause harm to other people. So those who are near and dear to you will not find fault with you, because you patience and you having the serenity of mind with compassion for other people, and you are loved and respected by those people. So developing metta from the bottom of your hearts is the best attribute which cause to invite affection and respect from other people. Another one is you are dear to non-human beings. You are loved by devas. Devas know your inner mind. So you are loved by devas because of your sincere loving kindness. Another one is you are protected by deities. Another one is fire, poison, and weapons cannot hurt you. Very strange. And your mind is easily concentrated. That means that your mind quickly becomes stabilized and calm because you are practicing loving kindness. There is agreeableness. To develop mindfulness, wishing other people happy is appropriate and easy because everybody is willing to gain happiness. You want happiness, and then if he want happiness, we will send happiness to you. We wish you be happy. So it is very appropriate and very agreeable. So your mind quickly becomes stabilized and calm. Your mind is very likely to become tranquil within a short time. Another one is your expression of your face is serene. The complexions of your face become clear. It should be developed as may be considered appropriate. It is easier, so your face have serenity. This way undoubtedly bring clear complexion of your face. Another one is Metta practitioner dies unconfused. Death takes place without bewilderment or perplexity. It is really important. So we have to die one day. What is the last moment? When the person is approaching death, he is likely to die without being able to gain proper concentrations of mindfulness because of very severe pain, very severe ache, and tiredness which he have to suffer. Or he is likely to pass away with lobha because a lot of attachment in this life, many attachment cannot cut off. So during the time of last moment is very important. Stay attachment, very difficult to cut off, and anger and delusion. So if the person pass away with lobha, dosa, and moha, it is very, very troublesome. If the person die with lobha, the person will be reborn hungry ghost. If the person die with dosa, he have to go to hell. If the person die with moha, delusion, he have to be reborn in the animal, lobha, dosa, moha, or akusala sankara are very dangerous. So this is how death usually comes upon a person with the mind perplexed, ridden by all kinds of entanglement. When death occurs to that person in that manner, it is almost certain that he is destined for the four woeful states. However, in some cases where the person is in the state of coma or semi-consciousness, his mind may impinge on on uh, on sensation to relating to kusala merits, because he used to do merits in this life. So when he is in coma, the mind stream is in the state of wholesome. there are nimittas around when he was dying. Karma, karma nimitta, gati nimitta, the karma we have done, the karma nimitta, karma signs, and gati nimitta, signs of destiny. So if the person have done all kusala, so in this in coma stage, the the sensation relating to marriage are in his mind stream. So for that person, the sukati or the abodes of celestial beings or the human beings will appear. So in that case, a person can hope to reach sukati, an existence where happy condition prevail if he practice loving kindness or other wholesome meritorious deeds. And the last one is if Metta practitioner does not penetrate any higher megaphala, he or she will be reborn in the Brahma realms. So these are the 11 benefits Metta practitioner can obtain. So to remember this, can you follow me? Metta practitioners sleep in comfort. He wakes in comfort. He has no evil dreams. He is dear to human beings. He is dear to non-human beings. He is protected by deities, fire, poisons, and weapons cannot hurt him. His mind is easily concentrated. The expressions of his face is serene. He dies unconfused. If he does not penetrate any higher megaphala, he will be reborn in the Brahma realms. So Metta practitioner can gain these 11 benefits. You are practicing Metta Bhavana. Your Metta Bhavana will provide you to get concentration and also your mind very clear, and it is also beneficial for your practice and for your health. So Metta, regarding Metta, we have to mention a lot of material. The why Buddha expounded the Metta Sutta and many stories regarding Metta Adosa. So we will explain tomorrow. We have to stop our discourse for today by practicing vipassana meditation, by developing Metta Bhavana, by noting, rising, falling, sitting, seeing, hearing, continuously and meticulously. May all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future.